Hello and good day, Mike Adcock with an update on Typhoon Haiyan in the Western Pacific, going by the Philippine name Yolanda. This brief is based on the 9 Zulu, JMA, and Pagasa advisories from the 8th of November. Haiyan at this point, about 110 kilometers south-southeast of San Jose, there in Occidental Mindoro. Or about 165 kilometers east-southeast of Coron Town there in northern Palawan. The system is continuing to move off toward the west now, about 39 kilometers per hour. Winds steady at about 195 kilometers, gusting to 280 kilometers. Now, JTWC still has it quite a bit stronger. 145 knots sustained, or 270 kilometers per hour, with gusts of 325 kilometers per hour per the U.S. military's JTWC. Pressure with this system, 920 hectopascal. What we've seen with this system, it's starting to weaken due to the frictional effects of land. It's actually weakened quite a bit. Doesn't really mean a whole lot when it was an extremely intense system. Still an equivalent Category 5 system. So, yeah, while it is weakening, it is extremely dangerous. We've seen the eye fill up, convection around that starting to shallow up a bit. And really the system, it's starting to weaken, but again, it's a very, very powerful system. It has a long way to go. A great outflow with it, so it's going to continue to be a threat for the Western Visayas and toward Palawan, and then we're going to see this cross the South China Sea and be a big factor for central and northern Vietnam. Take a look at the Dvorak analyses. 6 Zulu for JTWC and JMA and JTWC. Both agencies going with 6. Actually, all three agencies going with a 6.5 for their final T. NESDIS did get the latest from them at 9 Zulu. They've said, at this point the eye has become cloud filled. You can see that here on satellite. There's not a whole lot left to it. Right now, what they're using to base, they've gone from the eye wall technique, or the eye technique, now using the CDO. So the central dense overcast with this system still greater than 2.25 degrees. That brings your central feature to a 5.0. There's a little bit of a banding feature. You got that down to the south, a little bit up north. So that banding feature will tack on a half. So the data T was 5.5 with that. Because this is starting to weaken, you do have the constraints limiting that. So right now, 6.5 for your final T, 7.5 for the current intensity. The advanced Dvorak still a little bit weaker, 6.5 for the current intensity there. That still would equate to about 127 knots, or 931 millibars. Here's the 9 Zulu JMA advisory. You see there, just west of Rojas City, continuing to move off toward the west northwest, and will continue to affect far western Visayas and the northern part of Palawan before it crosses into the South China Sea. And then our focus will turn toward Vietnam, which will be dealing with this same typhoon come Sunday afternoon into Monday. That'll be affecting basically points near Hue and northward toward Hanoi. Alright, don't have the latest Pagasa track. There's obviously, with such a powerful system, a lot of people are going to the website, so the website is having a lot of troubles. But from this morning, there's really not a whole lot of change, other than the typhoon right now is in this area. So again, a little bit north of west northwesterly track. Again, expecting heavy rainfall throughout this area, 10 to 20 millimeters per hour. For those in low-lying areas, flash flooding is going to be a concern. Mountainous areas, you're going to have to watch out for landslides. And those near the coast should continue to monitor against storm surges. Here are the These are the latest 9 Zulu public storm warning signals. Of course, in violet is signal 4, red is signal 3, orange for signal 2, and yellow for signal 1. Starting to see those shifting off to the west along with the progress with this system. So improving conditions, at least right now, for the eastern Visayas. And we should start to see these be downgraded overnight and into tomorrow morning. Here's JTWC's track. Again, really no big changes there. 145 knots sustained, gusting to 175 knots. And you should see this remain equivalent to a Category 5 hurricane overnight. Once it emerges in the South China Sea, should start to see a little bit of weakening, and then landfall again Sunday afternoon in central Vietnam, still as a typhoon. Again, of course, I was mentioning earlier about the rainfall. Still going to be a threat, looking at about 100 to 115 millimeters over the course of today through tonight and into early tomorrow morning. This is valid. This chart here is valid through 8 a.m. Philippine time. All right, here's some 6 Zulu weather plots in and around the Philippines. Still seeing pretty poor conditions there in the western Visayas. Taking a quick look at a few of them. Romblon winds there 36 knots. Notice the pressure 996 hectopascals. Light rain there for San Jose there in Mindoro. 18 kilometer per hour winds, 992 for your pressure, light rain as well. And then for Coron, got some scrambled data with that, but still looking at winds out of the northwest at 54 kilometers currently, and 993 for the pressure there. This concludes the 9 Zulu update anyway for Typhoon Haiyan or Yolanda. Of course, we'll be posting throughout the night and into tomorrow over at westernpacificweather.com. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter. You can also join in on the conversation at storm2k.org. Thank you all for tuning in. Be safe out there. Have a great day and take care.